Bring on Eric Davis. I'm excited to be talking to you. How are you?
You able to hear me?
Now I can.
Okay.
I hear your beautiful face. I see your beautiful face. I hear your beautiful voice. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
You too. Well, Dan, thank you so much for having me on here.
So if you could tell your history, how you became connected with Torch. I know you've been very involved, not only the learning, but you've gone on the trips to Israel. Just tell the listeners your story, how you connected with them, and the impact that this organization has had on you.
Well, I can never give Torch as much as Torch has given to me, for starters. I grew up the only Jewish kid in the class, not really religious, but I always knew that I was Jewish, and I was always proud to be Jewish. And you've heard from all the speakers today leading up to me how diverse and how many people come from so many different backgrounds.
Right.
But we're all here for the same exact mission, and that's to become closer with Hashem and to learn more about Judaism, which ultimately you're learning more about yourself in the process. But once I left grade school and moved to Houston, I wanted to be part of a community where I felt like I was really, really meant to be there. I wanted to find myself. And I felt like Torch was the best place for it. And you learn about Judaism, you learn about the 10 Commandments, you learn about the Torah. But I think what the most amazing thing is the relationship that you establish with the rabbis and with the people that go there. It's truly inspiring. And I think it's so ironic that the Torch Center's emblem, which I'm wearing, by the way, I got some Torch swag.
Got to have the Torch swag.
Got to have the Torch swag.
Right.
But what's amazing is that the Torch Center, I love how the emblem is a flame.
Yeah.
Even when you're in a time of darkness, all it takes is one flame to ignite and light up the whole room and give it some light. And I feel like Torch, once I got to become friends with Rabbi Wolbe, all the Wolbes, such a wonderful and loving, amazing family, and all of the staff and all the people that I've met there. I heard this guy named Dan Kullman is a very nice guy. I don't know if you've heard of him. Well,
I wouldn't go with things just because you hear them. So I know you went on the Israel trip with I think Rabbi Ari and Scott Kamerman. Tell us about that.
Well, I've been blessed to go to Israel multiple times in my life. Been there 4 times, and my goal is to go there every year for the rest of my life. It's just such an amazing trip. Once you step foot in Israel, you hear about it your whole life. You know, once you set foot in Israel and you take that first deep breath of air, you feel like you are truly home. And I think it's really doing your due diligence, as I like to say, by going to Israel, because we all know that Texas and the United States, or wherever you are, that's your home. But Israel is really your home. And it was just so amazing to be there with my dad, especially. And we went to the Kotel, the Western Wall, and they say that's where the earth and heaven meet.
Yes.
I just felt like I was on top of the world when I was there, and just seeing all the historical landmarks of Israel, how vibrant it is, and how amazingly spirited and loving all the Jews of Israel are. It's just, I want to go back there again. I really, really do.
Well, yeah, it does create a sense of awe when you're there, just knowing that, all of human history has sort of originated from that one place. And you're right. It is the portal, the vortex between the heavens and the earthly realm. And it is our homeland. And, it's something that we need to go back at least and visit or remember that we're in exile. We may love Houston, Texas, right? We love Houston, Texas, but in the end, we're in exile. We need to remember that. And one day, God willing, we will all go home together. Eric, tell a little bit about the learning and what that experience has been like for you, or anything else you can share from your experiences with the Torch organization.
Well, when I first heard about the Torch Center, I had no idea that it meant the Torah Outreach Center of Houston until I really delved deep into it. I think it really should be called the Torah Outreach, Center for the World, because you have people from all across the world that tune in, thousands of people that listen.
It's true.
Tens of thousands of minutes that are viewed online, and just from I've listened to a lot of the speakers before here, and I'm amazed at how so many people all have the same love and connection to Torch. And for me being there, I've been to the Torch Center probably around 50 times, and I listen. And before COVID, I would go to Musar Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I would learn from Rabbi Wolbe, who's always near and dear to my heart. And I think the closest thing you can get to learning from our sages and our forefathers of Judaism, the closest thing you can get to that is going to the Torch Center and listening to the rabbis who speak there. And not just the rabbis, but the Rebbitzin and people like yourself and students. It's just an amazing thing how no matter whether you're a doctor or a student, a young kid, someone who's not religious, all of us are students in the eyes of Hashem, and we're all just trying to learn more and more about ourselves and where we came from. And I know that I'm going to keep doing my best to learn more about Judaism going forward.
That's wonderful, Eric. Yeah, it is. I mean, someone just asked me, they came in here on the break and said, how are you doing this for 12 hours yesterday, 12 hours a day? I'm just like, honestly, I'm so inspired by everyone that comes on. These people I'm meeting, like you said, from such amazing, diverse backgrounds, all different places. But they're, and it's such credit to the rabbis at Torch because they teach to everyone, wherever you are, wherever level of education you have, it doesn't matter. They're able to connect everyone with the learning that's appropriate for them. I do agree that we need to do a rebrand on the Torah Outreach Center of Houston. Rabbi Yokov will be saying Torah Outreach Center of the Hemisphere. I'm trying to go with Torah Outreach Center of Hashem, but we'll see. What's your vote?
It could be both.
Holy Land.
It really could be.
Torah Outreach Center of Holy Land. I just got that thrown into the idea.
I'm just waiting for the day, Dan, that the next time I go to Israel and I go in the Shuk and I go in to see all these stores that you can buy merchandise and memorabilia, I'll know that I made it in life whenever I see them selling Torch swag. Torch. That would be. That's how you know your life's complete.
Soon available at torchmerch.org.
Torch merch. That'd be fantastic.
Yes, it's coming soon. You're my segue. Actually, the next segment I'll be doing is talking about torchmerch.org. Mm-hmm. Everyone needs Torah, a rabbi I learned from, and the third thing I've left out till now is Torch swag. Eric, anything else you want to add as people are listening on why they need to support this organization and give tzedakah to it, make sure our budget is funded? And we're now over 480. But quite frankly, I'm telling you, I think we need to surpass this. And here's why. When we create the budget, the problem is that things come up. Like we're always looking for innovative ways. Like this year was like, we need more rabbis. We need to find ways to make sure everyone gets an opportunity to learn one-on-one. And the last person I had on said, yeah, I would like to be able to learn one-on-one. Podcasts are great. Videos are great. And eventually that rabbi, his capacity, his calendar is going to get full. And we're going to need to hire another rabbi to come in to make sure that everyone can study one-on-one with the rabbi. So I really would like to see us even go surpass this $500,000 number. But is there anything that you can share with the listeners on why this is an amazing organization, and why they should go to givetorch.com and support the organization with their tzedakah?
Well, I think in life, it's worth spending some money on learning something that's priceless. And when you give money to Torch, you'll learn in Judaism, really, if you give, you're actually getting. And a wise man by the name of Rabbi Wolbe once told me that you can actually you can understand there's a difference between a growing Jew and a stagnant Jew. And there's a difference between being Jewish and being a Jew. One is saying what you are, and one is who you actually are. And I think just the amount of wisdom and Torah knowledge and life skills that I've learned from the rabbis at Torch and through the speakers at Torch, whether it's at the Partners in Torah or Musar Monday or all the other classes and podcasts that Torah has to offer. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter how much money that we give. What Torch has done is priceless. The amount of effort and love and knowledge that Torch gives to not just me, but to not just to Texas, but the whole world.
Right.
And so really, if you're going to give money, you might as well give it to Torch, and however much you want, because it's for a priceless reason. It really, really is. And I think my experience being at the Torch Center, celebrating holidays there and making friends and discovering more about yourself. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know, as the expression goes. And when it comes to delving into Torah and learning about Kabbalah, whether it's with Rabbi Busko or Birnbaum or anybody, Scott Kammerman, these are my sages of today. And I look up to them in so many ways. And it's really inspired me. Torch has inspired me to want to impact the future generation. I'm only 26, but I want to make sure that everyone can, eventually in their lifetime, go to Israel at least once and know that this is our homeland. And this is who we are. And we come from all over the world, as you've seen the speakers that are coming here on this awesome podcast, which, Dan, you're the man. But we all one big family. We're all one tribe. God's the coach. Hashem's the coach, and we're just the players learning each play as the day goes on. And I just want to thank you for everything you do. And I'm forever grateful to Torch.
Thank you so much, Eric. Beautifully said. I appreciate it. Appreciate all your support and being a fellow student with me. So we do appreciate everything you've done for the organization. We are going to take a short break.